Hey, I'm Moran with Creek Currents. Today I'm going to go explore Lime Ridge Open Space with Ranger Art Janke. Now, before I get started, I want to make sure I got a couple things. Trusty trail map, some sunscreen, and of course, a bottle of water. Let's go. Come on. Hey Art.
Hey Brennan, welcome to Lime Ridge Open Space.
Thank you, good to be here. Nice view you got for me today.
Beautiful view today, great weather.
This is a fun job that you must have here, Art.
It's an excellent job, I enjoyed it a lot.
I'm jealous. So tell me, we're in Lime Ridge Open Space, right? Could you tell me just a little bit about the history of this space and how it came to be?
Well, Lime Ridge Open Space was purchased as part of 4 open spaces that the city purchased with a bond measure in 1974. Basically, they were going to create a development over in the Shell Ridge area. Citizens got upset, passed a bond measure for $6.75 million to purchase all of this open space land. Today, the city manages over 3,000 acres of open space.
Now, that's a pretty high number for a city like Walnut Creek, right?
This is true. That's a pretty high number for any city, and it's actually the second largest city-owned open space inside California.
Wow. So you have kind of a lot of square footage to cover, right?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Now, somebody can come out here, what can they do? They can hike?
Hiking, horseback riding, biking, nature study, photography, all great things to do out here, or just come out and enjoy the nature.
Now, I like to get outside, but I don't really know what I'm looking at a lot of the time. So what, as far as wildlife and let's say vegetation, are kind of like the highlights of somebody who's coming out here for the first time?
Lime Ridge is definitely our most unique open space area. Has all sorts of different habitat types, grasslands, oak woodlands, chaparral, and that actually gives the greatest diversity of plant life and animal life. Pretty much anything that you can imagine living on Mount Diablo lives on the foothills here in Lime Ridge.
Wow. So there's a quarry here too, right?
Absolutely.
You want to go show it to me?
Absolutely, I'd love to go show it to you.
This way?
This way, follow me.
All right. So this was all dredged out.
Yeah, this is one of the old Lime Ridge quarries.
Wow. You would never know this was back here unless you actually, took the walk, right?
Absolutely, there's a whole series of hidden quarries back here. You can see some of them from Ignatia Valley Road, some of the bigger ones. There's a lot more tucked back inside the park.
How many are there?
I couldn't tell you.
Really?
They're a continuous system of them right through the park.
Wow. So when did they stop digging?
1946.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
I'm told there was a big kind of smokestack here too, or near here?
Near here. Basically what happened was in the 1850s when everyone came across for the gold rush, there were people who realized there wasn't any money in the gold. So they discovered that there was building material here with limestone, which you can turn into cement. They started producing lime nearby here, 1850s. Shut down a short time after that. The area was purchased by a gentleman by the name of Henry Cowell. He came to California searching for gold as well. He started investing in drayage businesses, transportation businesses out of San Francisco, and he started purchasing other properties. One of them was a lime business in Santa Cruz County. Purchased that property, and then started purchasing properties all up and down California. He never actually worked here. He was shot and killed over a property dispute in Santa Cruz County.
Really?
Before that, and his son Ernest actually started the mining operations here in about 1903. And as part of it, he set up his own little town, the town of Cowell, which is where the Crossings neighborhood in Concord now sits. It was a large town, large factory town, employed up to 450 people at a time. and they operated the quarries in here. They had a kiln, they had their own factory housing, they had their own school, their own post office, their own stores down there in town. And here in the quarries is where they did all the work. They blasted once a week, and through all these quarries they used trucks and narrow gauge railroad to haul all the limestone back to the kilns, which is where the smokestack used to be.
Wow, I had no idea, Art. So what else were they looking for besides the limestone?
Pretty much that's what they were after, was the limestone through here, all the limestone deposits. And they were actually also harvesting sand out of the far side as well, part of the cement making process. It's a really neat spot to make cement. You can imagine 1903 would be a fantastic time to get building supplies right here, because of course in 1906, large earthquake, lots of fires in San Francisco. And so when they started rebuilding, they wanted a very, very durable source. So here you could make cement right here, right out to the delta, throw it on a barge, go around the corner, bang, you're good to go.
Well, it's a lot different now.
Much different now.
A lot quieter.
Much quieter.
I kind of prefer it this way.
Yeah, me too. Can you imagine blasting caps and everything going off right now?
Wow.
It's a neat part. Since it was set aside, it was purchased in 1974, like I mentioned, with the bond measure. And since then, it's just been left as open space. And you can see that nature's slowly been reclaiming the quarries with all the plants and everything going on out here.
All right, we should get back to walking.
Sounds good.
All right, this way.
Let's go.
So this is the big quarry that you can see from town.
This is the big quarry where they did most of the mining.
Uh-huh.
So you can definitely see this one from Ignatia Valley Road.
Yeah.
And as you can see, it too is kind of going back to nature, all the plants and everything growing up inside it.
Right. What you got there?
And this is what they were mining. This is some limestone. And you can see it's not a very good quality, kind of breaks apart there.
Oh, yeah.
And what they do is they'd actually harvest it, take it back and pound it into a powder. They'd heat it in a kiln, usually for about 4 days to change the chemical composition. And that's how you make the basics of making Portland cement.
So there's still plenty here.
There's still some here. When they actually shut down the operations in 1946, they determined that there wasn't a good enough quality or enough quality material left. And some people dispute whether or not that's true.
Okay. All right, well, I have learned a lot from you, Art. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I'm going to take this home with me. I hope you don't mind.
Oh,
okay?
Can't take anything from the open space.
All right, well, Art, that's right.
Leave only footprints, take only pictures.
Spoken like a true ranger. All right, we're going to send this back to where it belonged. A big thanks to Ranger Art Janke for showing us around today. Now, if you want to know more about the Lime Ridge Open Space, you can always go online at walnut-creek.org/open space. And I'll see you on the trail.